What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about a subject that I think is pretty interesting. It's whether or not you can have too much money. Now, we're not going to talk about the big money, the billionaires and the multi-billionaires, and whether that's right or wrong or whether billionaires should exist. Fun fact about that, did you know that if Bill Gates had not sold or diversified his Microsoft stock after he left Microsoft to run his foundation, he sold a lot of stock to put it into his foundation and diversify. If he had not done that, he would be a trillionaire today. So should we have trillionaires? Should we have billionaires? That's the subject for a different video. In this video, we're going to talk about whether you and I, normal people, can have too much money, whether or not we should work more to accumulate more. Should we take on an extra job? Should we delay retirement to have money? So it's something to think about. Should we accumulate money? There are a lot of things that come with money. There's freedom, there's power, there's opportunity. We'll talk about that. So why would we want to put any limit to that? On the contrary, it sometimes can be more of a blessing than a curse. It can lead to things like greed or unhappiness or lack of purpose that can come with having more money than you'll ever need. So which is it? Can you cross the line into having too much money and saving too much money and putting too much money away throughout your whole life? Let's dig into that. And also stay till the end, because I'm going to highlight why this is important and some tips on how you can manage your money, use this concept to manage your money better. So let's talk about the pros of having more money, some advantages to accumulating, let's call it a big fortune, accumulating more money than you'll never ever need. So the first one is freedom and opportunity. So with enough money, you have the freedom to live how you want, live your life on your terms. You can travel, you can pursue passion projects, you can take big entrepreneurial risks. Some of the best companies and biggest companies that we know today are because people had the money to pursue those. Like Elon Musk, one of the world's richest people, he created Tesla and SpaceX and bought Twitter, all because he started and sold a company early on that he then rolled that money into PayPal, and then he rolled that into Tesla and SpaceX. So he was able to take those risks because he had so much money. And on a much smaller scale, when we have some money, we've got a portfolio, we've got some money in the bank, it allows us to have some FU money to take more risks, to pursue another job or pursue a passion that we might not otherwise be able to do because we have that money. Second is philanthropy and impact. So having a lot of money, more money than you need, allows you to be philanthropic and help others in need, to donate vast amount of money to the causes you care about, the causes you're passionate about. A single $1 billion gift or even $10,000 gift to a charity can fund things like medical research or environmental incentives or programs or fight poverty. So there is a lot of good that can be done and is done by being able to give to philanthropy. And billions of dollars are given each year. Americans give a lot of money to philanthropy, and it has been largely, I would say, used for the good to prevent diseases and help people rise out of poverty and all those sort of things that poverty does, or that the philanthropy does. Number 3 is generational wealth. Taking care of your family, having a big portfolio allows you to set up trusts and investment accounts for your kids and their kids. It's debatable whether or not that's a good thing, whether it can enable kids to be lazy, to veer into some of the pros we're going to talk about now. But a lot of people have the desire to take care of their kids. We love our kids. We want them to be financially stable, especially these days where housing is becoming more and more expensive. It's becoming out of reach for many people. So having a goal to accumulate money so you have generational wealth so you can take care of your family and their kids can be a very beneficial goal. So number 4 is having no money worries. So let's face it, having enough money so you don't have to worry and stress about paying your bills, covering your expenses, coming up with mortgage money every month, running out of money, all that can be very stressful, and it can really wear you down. It can actually affect your health if you're stressing so much about money. And the number one reason, incidentally, that people get divorced, we say it's about money, but it's not necessarily about a lack of money. It's a lack of communication about money. But money does cause stress in relationships. That's for sure. And having a lot of money can lead to peace of mind, can really help you feel more comfortable. So are you with me so far? Those are the pros. If you like this video so far, then please give it a like down below and subscribe to the channel, because I've got plenty more coming about this subject of personal finance. So let's talk about the cons of having excessive wealth. There are a lot of big pros, but there are also downsides when it comes to having more money than you could possibly ever spend. And the number one downside is greed and hoarding. So for some, having an excessive fortune can lead to feelings or attitudes or actions of greed and hoarding and always wanting more money and more possessions. And that mentality feels like you never have enough. And I've talked to several rich people that have told me that when they reach a certain level, then they just want to get to the next level. You come out of college and you're making $20,000 a year, you want to get to 50, and then you want to get to 100. And then people that have done that say, then they want to get to 200, then they want to get to 500, then they want to get to 1,000,000, and you want to go beyond. It is never enough. And conversely, or related to that, is savings. And I have struggled with this as well. I don't like to spend money because I like saving. I like putting money in my bank account and seeing it grow. And that's probably not always a good thing. You want to be able to spend money on fun things, or buy gifts, or give to charity, or just not always saving all of your money. So if you go too far overboard, then it becomes greedy and you're hoarding. So that's a downside of having too much money, or even being too focused on money. Number two is a loss of motivation. A lot of retirees will tell you this, that once they have accumulated so much wealth and they retire and they're not working anymore, they lose a lot of ambition and a lot of motivation to work. I've had friends that have made a lot of money and then they don't really feel like they have a purpose because they don't have something to strive for. They aren't motivated again. There's a certain challenge in making money and having a goal to strive for, whether you're building a business or a portfolio, retirement portfolio, or something you're working on and creating. That's very motivational. It's very fun to have that. And then once you have a lot of money, then all that motivation can be gone. That's why people that come into money, like lottery winners, end up losing a lot, because they don't have the drive and the motivation to work for it, and it slips through their fingers. Number three is family dynamics. So there are countless examples of people who have become wealthy and it's caused problems in their relationships, rifts in their family. Their children or their relatives might become lazy or entitled. There are famous people that you see, like Oprah has talked about this, and a couple of comedians have talked about this, how once they got wealthy, they had relatives that they never knew existed suddenly calling them out of the blue, asking them for money. So it definitely can cause some issues. Related to that is isolation and mistrust. When you're part of the ultra elite and you've got a lot of money, it can be very isolating. It's hard to know who your friends are. Who are your friends just because they are your friends and they genuinely care about you, or they look at you as a big piggy bank or a bank account. And so the ultra wealthy often struggle with profound loneliness because they don't know what reality it is. They don't know who their friends are and who really cares about them. And lastly is social criticism. Whether this is fair or not, it's part of our society now. It didn't used to be, but it is now, where the ultra wealthy are considered hoarding their fortunes, while the rest of society struggles. The term the 1% shows that there is a rising criticism and negative attitude toward excessive wealth. So I told you I would talk about some of the takeaways from this discussion about whether excessive wealth or just having more money than you can ever need is a good thing and what we can do about it. Two pieces of advice. One from a personal experience. I feel like it is important to have, if you're saving and investing, have a goal and stick to it. If you want to make $100,000 a year, have that goal, but also know what you're going to do after. because it's easy to get on the hedonic treadmill where we're just working more and more, and accumulating more and more. Have a goal. Once I hit this amount every year, then I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to take more vacations. I'm going to use my vacation days, and I'm going to enjoy it. If you want to build up a portfolio of a couple $1 million, have that goal and know what you're going to do once you reach it. Because once you get there, the goalposts always move. And this happened to me when I was saving for retirement. As I hit the goal, and then I moved the goalpost, and I got greedy, and I ended up losing a lot of that because I got greedy and I was taking risks that I shouldn't have taken. And I was working a lot, and I got on that treadmill. I just wanted more and more because I like seeing the numbers go up like we all do. So my advice is to have a goal. And once you hit that goal, get more conservative. Make your investments more conservative. So you're protecting that wealth. Maybe scale back on the time and effort you're putting into saving. You don't need to be saving 70% of your income once you've already hit that goal. Start enjoying life, enjoying some of that money. And the second thing related to that is Scott Galloway, or Prof G as he's known, is a professor at NYU, and he has made a lot of money. He said recently in a podcast that he's worth over $100 million. And his advice to those that are saving and those that are trying to make money is to set a milestone. His milestone, I think he said it was $100 million. And of course, that's a huge number, unattainable for most of us. Maybe we set our number way lower than that, but whatever the number is, then for him, he said, once he hit that milestone, he vowed that he would spend all of the money in excess of that amount. And then whatever he spent, he would double what he spent and gave it to charity. So that helped him to not be so focused on hoarding all of his huge portfolio. He said, once I hit my goal, I'm going to spend it and enjoy it in excess of my goal. So let's say you want to save $2 million. Once you reach your $2 million goal, then when it gets up over $2 million to $2.1 million, you're going to spend $100,000 that year on you and your family and enjoy yourself. And then he will double that, take $100,000, and he'll give $200,000 to charity. So whatever those numbers are for you, I thought that was an interesting concept, that once we reach that goal, that it might make sense to also have a goal to spend it. Don't spend all of it, keep the principal so you can keep living on it, but don't spend it all, and also commit yourself to a charity and helping others once you reach that goal. And of course, you can do it along the way, but that helps him to not just be focused on making the number go up forever. So what do you think? Do you think there's such thing as too much money, or do you think always more is always better? I'd love to hear your comments below. So if you found this subject interesting, check out this other video here, which is the most popular video of mine on YouTube, has over 500,000 views as of today, actually, where I talk about my feelings about retirement and saving for retirement and why I went back to work. Hint, it's the reason I went back to work after retiring at 47 was related to one of the cons that I just listed above. So check that out. See you next time.